So I'm Myra. I am from Karachi, Pakistan, and I'm doing masters in English literature.
Okay, that's great. So, let us start our session. As you know, our today's topic is global warming. So, I would love to hear from you. What do you think? What is global warming?
Okay, so we have these naturally occurring gases which are called greenhouse gases. So these gases include carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane gas. So these gases, they trap the energy of the sun. When the sunlight reaches the earth, they trap the energy of the sun. And as a result of that, the temperature of earth becomes more and more warmer. Without the existence of these gases, the life would not be sustainable on earth. So these gases are like extremely, imperative for the human survival. But what's happening with us now is that after the industrial revolution, the emission of carbon dioxide and methane and nitrous oxide has increased significantly because of the burning of the fossil fuels. Car and gases. When we burn gases or coals or oil, that emit a lot of carbon dioxide. So because of that, carbon dioxide is increased in the atmosphere. Apart from that, deforestation is also like causing a lot of emission of carbon dioxide because when you cut down the trees, all the carbon dioxide which was stored in the trees that gets released in the atmosphere. So also the domestication of sheep and cows and all these animals is releasing a lot of methane gas. So I think these are the reasons as to why the global warming is occurring because the temperature of Earth is getting more and more warmer. And as the temperature of the Earth is getting more warmer, the glaciers are melting down, which is increasing the sea level.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I would like to add on something here. Like global warming, if we go towards the literal meaning, global means something related to the earth, right? And warming is rising of the temperature. So the
Exactly.
literal meaning is rising of the temperature of the earth, and that's what
Exactly.
exactly it's all about. And you have
Hmm.
rightly said that it is really important because if there will be no greenhouse gases, so the temperature will drop down and everything will freeze around us and we cannot sustain. But excess of everything is wrong, and so with the greenhouse gases, that is why we are facing problems today.
Exactly. Without these gases, the Earth will become as cold as the Mars, and people won't be able to survive here. And
Yes,
I think
yes.
that, and I think that the ozone layer is also like being affected because of that. As far as I remember, the ozone layer protects the Earth from the UV rays, right? Because the UV rays can be extremely dangerous. So I think that the UV ray, the ozone layer is also like getting more and more thinner with each passing day because of the pollution.
And recently, it was there in the news that there has been a hole in the ozone layer. So, if that hole is getting bigger day by day, so it is really harmful for the human beings and the life on the earth.
Yeah, because it's going to like spread different types of diseases, right? I also read somewhere that it will like spread a lot of cancer or things like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you? Yes, you were
Yeah, yeah.
saying something? No, I was just asking you about like what could be the effects of the global warming in the near future.
Yeah, so if we are not doing something about it, then as per the research, within this century, by the end of the 21st century, the planet will become so warm that if we do not make artificial conditions for living, then the life on the earth will just vanish and it will become a fiery rock as it was 4.5 billion years ago when the earth formed. So, but we
Mm-hmm.
can do certain things to prevent global warming. The government has already done many things. Now it's our turn. We should do many things, take many precautions at individual level to prevent global warming. There are many steps that
Mm-hmm.
we can take. Like, as we all know, the smoke from the vehicles, it contains carbon dioxide, which is making the like carbon dioxide more and more is getting added to the atmosphere. So what can we do
Yeah.
is we can walk or take a bicycle for traveling for short distances. And instead of using private vehicles such as your personal car or bike, it is better to use public transport because those buses can carry many people, and so the amount of carbon dioxide will be less. And as you have
Hmm.
said, that one cause is the deforestation. So for that we can plant more and more trees because the carbon dioxide they will suck in, right? So the amount of carbon dioxide will decrease.
Wow, you actually made all these amazing points. But do you think that people in our world they will be willing to do all these kind of things which you just mentioned? Because don't you think that the society has become too fast? They want to just, for example, if someone is going to his office, he wants to reach his office in like 10 to 15 minutes, right? So don't you think that it will be like very difficult for everyone to do these kind of things?
Yeah, exactly, you are right. But we need to
Yeah.
spread awareness for that. If we are making people aware what are the consequences of global warming and what are the causes and what can we do ourselves to prevent it, then I think there will be revolutions for this, because people then only they will understand that what is happening, what should we do to prevent it, what our, like if we use a personal vehicle, what harm can it do to our earth, right? So if people are made aware, then they will surely take some steps.
Yeah, I really hope that. But like people who belong to affluent families or people who are like financially really strong, those people, actually instead of having one car, they have like two or three cars, which increases the emission of carbon dioxide. So I think that these people who are like extremely privileged and people who have a lot of access to these materialistic things, first of all, they also need to like take action, and instead of using these two, three cars, they need to like use one car or they need to use public transport, I guess. But I don't
Yeah,
think that those
if,
people will be willing to
if
do
they're
it.
having if they're having so many personal vehicles, then they can use CNG, like the vehicles that run on CNG or electric vehicles, because these do not produce carbon dioxide, right? So
Hmm.
they will be more beneficial. And if the famous personalities will start using these kind of vehicles, and so this will motivate the common people as well, right? Because
Exactly.
some people consider them and those people as their role model. So if they are doing something good for the environment, that will make people aware, and they will also start taking some steps to prevent global warming.
Yeah, I really hope. But these big celebrities, they like, they always talk about environment and spreading positivity. They talk about different things and try to spread positivity. But what I have noticed about them that they only talk about these things, they don't implement it in their life most of the times. So do you think
Yes.
that they will change their mind and they will start implementing all these things in their life?
If people are made aware, like these days global warming is increasing, but the rich people are not getting so much effect of it. They have air
Hmm.
conditioned rooms, right? And they don't just have so much effect of the global warming as on their personal things. That's why they are
Yeah.
not doing something about it. They are just talking about it. Okay, but I think that government can do something here, right? If
Yeah.
the government can make some laws that a person needs to have the, like if a person has three cars, then at least two or maybe one, at least one of them should be electric one, right? If the government
Exactly.
does some strictness, then they will do something about it.
Exactly. And what about the industrial processes? Like there are so many industrial processes which emits a lot of different types of greenhouse gases. So what about those things?
Yeah, but if we look at the other hand, industrial development is also really important. So for that,
Hmm.
what I believe is there are certain purifiers of gas, right? So they can be
Hmm.
installed in various industries, in all the industries, so that the amount of carbon dioxide that gets released into the air, it is less. And people
Hmm.
should plant more and more trees, the industries that are set up. So around that, it is the job of the person whose industry is that, whose factory is that, to plant at least 50 number of trees, right? Because the industry is extended over a vast land, so at least 10% of that land can be used to plant trees.
Exactly. So I recently read that various big countries such as America, Russia, even India is also included in those countries. Like these people are planning to go to moon and they are planning to colonize moon and Mars. So do you think that's likely to happen in the future?
Well, the technology, it's anything is possible in the future. We can't declare that, but in the advancement in technology, day by day, we are seeing new things, right? Like these days, AI is in trend, right? AI
Hmm.
robots.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, right.
tomorrow what happens, no one knows. But yeah, I believe that within 50 years or so, they can do something. Like people have already went to moon, right? Earlier, like
Yeah.
Neil Armstrong and other people have went to moon.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
right,
nothing.
right.
We first need to explore the path to the moon, then we need to go there. People have already done those things. Now they can make settlements over there, but the atmosphere of the moon is not like the Earth, which can sustain life, right? So
Yeah, it's not.
efficiently cannot do so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they are making these different types of technologies which can like make moon more conducive for life or things like that. And apart from that, I was like, thinking when I read about this colonization of moon and Mars, I thought that maybe these big people who are like extremely powerful and affluent, maybe these people are thinking that they will colonize the moon, and if Earth gets sabotaged or if Earth gets annihilated in the future, they will just go to the moon or Mars and start living there. So is I mean, do you think that could be the possibility as to why some of the people are like really not taking it seriously? Global warming.
But do you really think that the world nearly contains 8 billion people? Is it easy to transport those 8 billion people all the way to Mars or Moon? And even the Moon, it is so small when compared to Earth. So all the people, they will not be able to live in that, right?
Yeah, but I think that these rich people are more concerned about them and their descendants. Like they are really not concerned about the rest of the world. They just are only like concerned about we are gonna get teleported to the moon and our family will stay there, our descendants will stay there. So that could be that could be the case, I believe. Do you think some people might have
Actually,
these kind of things in their mind?
I believe that the main thing of this is the population. Population is growing day by day. Even India, it's one of the most populous country of the world, right? So population is increasing rapidly,
Right.
and the land, the amount of water, and everything, it is limited. It remains the same. So what we need to do is that we should have a control over the population. Each country, each state, each family needs to have control over the population, right? Because the more and more
Right.
population will be there, there will be a need of more and more houses. And to build those houses, forests will be cleared. And to make a large number of people employed, factories will be set up. And that's how trees will start vanishing from the earth. So the main cause is the overgrowing population.
Overpopulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So China already has this policy of like one child. Like in China, the couple can only conceive one child. Were you aware of that?
Yes, yes. And in our country, in the state of Assam, where I am currently living, recently last year a law was
Okay.
passed. I read it in the news that the government has made such a rule that a person who is having more than two child cannot be taken in the defense sector. Right? So if government does something like this, people will start doing something. They will take action.
Okay. But do you think that this, I mean, I talked with some people about this policy of China, and some people said that it's actually going to be quite detrimental in the long run. Like, it's not going to solve the problem of overpopulation. On the contrary, it's actually going to be quite detrimental for China. So, do you agree with this?
Well, everything has its advantages and disadvantages, right? Nothing is totally beneficial
Right.
for a country, nothing is totally bad for a country.
Right.
But
By
if
the
we
way, your
look,
picture has freezed, so I because I can hear you right now. So you were saying
okay.
something?
Yeah, I was just telling
Yeah.
that everything has its positive and negative sides. But if we don't have a control over the population, then we can do nothing, right? We cannot prevent global warming.
Exactly. So you think that that's the one step that we can take to prevent global warming, control the overpopulation?
Yes.
Okay. So would you like to add anything else in the discussion of global warming, like any prevention or the cause or something like that?
Okay, so in the season of winter, I've seen people collecting dry leaves and they just burn it, right? And that
Hmm.
releases a lot of smoke. And with that smoke comes the carbon dioxide. So it's a request to people that they should not do such things, right? Because this is a thing that people can do at their own level. They won't,
Hmm.
if they are aware of this, they will not collect leaves and they will burn them. Even nothing should be burned. Like some people burn plastic, which releases a lot of
Right.
carbon dioxide, right?
Right.
So these things shall be prevented, and paper should be saved because somewhere or the other, paper comes from cutting of trees. And if more and more
Hmm.
paper will be used, then more and more
Hmm.
trees will be have to be cut, right?
Hmm. So I heard in one of the podcasts that there was this girl who was telling that these rich countries such as USA and Canada and different countries, what they do is that they put the trash of their country and they throw it in the sea. I mean near the Sea of Pakistan or near the sea of still developing countries, the countries which are not still developed. So do you think it's the right thing to do? I mean, don't you think that it's quite racist?
No, it's certainly a wrong thing. And last year I read it in an article that there's something, the plastic in the Pacific Ocean. There's an area. It is a very wide area where there is nothing except plastic which is just submerged in water, and it
Okay.
is one of the dead zone of Pacific Ocean where, and if a fish suppose reaches there, then what will happen? That fish will die. And if you
Right.
the rich countries which are throwing their waste in the water bodies and sea, first of all it is bad to throw it in any sea. And if they are doing it in of a personal water of a water body which is surrounding a specific country, so that's really bad. And
Yeah.
they should, what should we do is that the people can avoid wastage, because in the rich countries, as we always hear and study, that they do waste a lot of things. In our
Right.
country, a person the amount of energy a person uses in a day, there a person uses triple amount of that energy in one day.
Exactly, exactly. And you know, they are actually mostly doing it with the less developed country. For example, the name of Pakistan was also included in the list of those countries. So I think that it's also kind of racist that they are only specifically doing it with the less developed country, right?
Yeah, it's really bad that if you are, all the countries need to work with together, and if you are throwing your waste near some other country's waste, then it's certainly wrong.
It's absolutely wrong. And you know, after if you incinerate that trash or if you incinerate that waste, it will emit a lot of carbon dioxide because there are a lot of plastic bags included in that. So in our country, the government took this step to replace the straws, those plastic straws that we use to drink juices and water. They replaced it with the paper straw, but many people did not like the idea. So a grand majority were like, you know, not satisfied with the quality of the paper straw. So what do you think about it? I
No,
mean, people were probably
it's not
not
that.
cooperating with the government.
Straw is mostly used single time and then it is thrown. But we need to do something that so that our earth is conserved, right? If we will not take step and just run towards luxury, then how will we live in the future? And even in our country, like we have a drink, a mango drink named Fruity, and I had observed that earlier they used to provide plastic straws, but recently they have started to provide paper straws with their pack. I have noticed that thing. So it is really good initiative, and I would request the people not to do so. They should
Yeah.
they should use the paper straws.
Exactly, but what's the quality of your paper straws? I mean, that are produced in India. Does they melt down when you start drinking the juice?
No, no, they usually do not melt down.
Okay, so I think one thing that I noticed with the straws that were produced in here were that they used to melt down. Like when the person starts drinking the juice, they used to melt down. So I think that was the main reason as to why the grand majority were not satisfied with the quality of the straw. So I think that government also need to like in Pakistan, government also need to like take care of these kind of things.
Yeah, yeah. The quality of paper straws should also be improved. And
Exactly.
if the quality was high of the paper straws, then I believe that the majority would not be
Yeah.
dissatisfied.
Absolutely, they won't complain about it anymore. So, have you noticed any effects of global warming in your country or in any other country?
Well, as you know, every year when the summer comes, it sets a new record every year, and from
Exactly.
2018 to 2023. If we
Hmm.
see, if we look at the data, every summer is hotter than the previous one, right?
Exactly.
So
Right.
of air conditioners are being installed in more and more homes, and they also lead somewhere or the other or to the other global warming. And apart from that, e-waste increases due to this.
Right. So, I read somewhere that it was actually the hottest June on Earth this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And apart from that, another effect that I have noticed is that we are also like experiencing heavy rainfall, not specifically in Karachi, but in like different areas of Pakistan, in different cities of Pakistan, and it was not the case before. So because of climate change, like everything is like changing. And what do you think? I mean, the earthquakes that we have been experiencing on a global level, are they also happening because of the global warming? Could there be any reason because of that?
Uh, First, as you said, that everything is getting disbalanced. Even in our capital Delhi and nearby cities, this year it was raining so much over there in the summertime. But in Assam, where currently I'm living, it usually rains a lot. But this year it didn't rain so much. And at the place where it used to be hot, there it's raining. So everything is getting disbalanced due to this global warming.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that I totally concur with. I also observed it in various cities of Pakistan. So, for example, it used to not rain that much in Karachi, but in the recent few years, it's been raining. It's not been raining that much, but the amount of rain has increased. So, we have experienced heavy rainfall, and yeah, it's really mind-boggling how the climate is changing all over the world.
And as you mentioned, the earthquakes. So, earthquake is a natural disaster, and when global warming is increasing, so as you know, the temperature below the earth it is really high, and if the temperature over the surface of the earth it will also get high, then the land will also start to shake, right? And that will cause earthquake because as everything will get disbalanced because this temperature is maintaining the lives.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So, would you like to add anything else in this discussion?
I would just like to request every viewer of this video that whatever we have discussed, what steps we should take, what precautions should we take, a person should do at an individual level and make others aware of it. If suppose 10 people start following you, you start a good practice not to burn dry leaves, and 10 other people start following you, and looking at those 10 people, many people will start to do these things, right? And that's how changes will happen because it will never happen on a day that one particular day everyone will start taking precautions to to prevent global warming, right? It will happen slowly and gradually, and it will
Yeah.
happen by at the personal level only.
Yeah, but also we'll have to work towards it collectively, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. We have to do the teamwork.
Exactly. So yeah, I would also like to say the same thing that if the government is taking any step towards like preventing the global warming, then people should, cooperate with the government. And apart from that, we should, not throw our trash like that. Apart from that, I mean, all the things that you mentioned earlier about taking the public transport or stuff like that, I would totally agree with those things. And I think that we should also plant more trees. So these are some of the preventions that we can. These are some of the steps that we can take to prevent global warming. So yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so
So
really nice talking to you. Now
it was
we are
nice
having
talking
the
to
end
you,
of this.
and have a good day. Bye.
Bye.